Hello, I'm Matt Glenesk. He is IndyStar Pacers insider Nate Taylor. And Nate, big news today. I think caught most everybody by surprise. Pacers president Larry Bird is stepping aside from his position as Pacers president. Kevin Pritchard, general manager, will now assume those roles. Initial reaction?
Wow, just stunning, because Larry Bird has been the most calming influence perhaps in the Pacers organization. I mean, he is a consistent, good general manager, president, whatever you want to call it, at getting guys to play quality basketball together. He's been great in the draft, especially from the mid to late lottery selection. That's how you get Paul George, that's how you have Miles Turner. But this is a clear sign that we thought this could be a turbulent, sort of seismic offseason. It is now. This proves it, that there's going to be a lot of changes moving forward, and I don't know if the Pacers are going to be as competitive going into next season as they were this year.
You talk about a lot of changes. Obviously, the one everyone wants to talk about is what this means for Paul George. Paul, obviously, when you have a former superstar player as your boss, it has a little more extra cachet. You respect that person maybe a little more. You'll listen to him. You're more inclined to stay with that star player, you know, because you guys are both stars. Now you have Kevin Pritchard running the show. No more Larry Bird. And maybe Larry wasn't in it for a rebuild. Larry, I think he had a year-to-year deal with Herb.
With Herb, yep. And Herb has always been complimentary, praised him to no end. But look, Larry is 60, and he's had health concerns in the past. Now, this isn't involved with this decision today, but for Paul George, I mean, this is the guy who's really been your developer, the guy who's believed in you more than anyone. When he had that gruesome leg injury in 2014, Larry Bird from the first day said Paul George is going to get back, he's going to become a superstar, he's going to be even better, and he's going to lead the Pacers, and I'm going to build around him. And he's tried to do that for the last 2 years. Unfortunately, it's been unsuccessful. Now Paul only has 1 year left on his contract. We know the Supermax could be available if the All-NBA goes the Pacers' way. But now I think this move sort of signifies for every other team in the NBA, now's the time to call and say, what will it take to get us Paul George, to sort of convince him that whatever situation the opposing team has is better than what the Pacers do. Because, look, Paul trusts Larry Bird and said, look, Larry's not trying to waste my prime years, but I don't know where the Pacers are going to move next with Kevin Pritchard, just because it's a lot to ask of Kevin to either go into a rebuild route or just try to get quality players to come here, with her understanding what the salary cap is going to be in the next few years.
And what do we know about Kevin Pritchard? He was obviously general manager for the Portland Trail Blazers before he came here in 2011, I think it was. Yep. Assumed general manager duties here in 2012, but there's still Donnie Walsh around, there's still Larry Bird around. So really not sure how much, sway Kevin Pritchard had in that front office. Now it's his show.
Right.
What do we know about Kevin Pritchard?
He was gaining sway, and that's something that we can write in the IndyStar, is that he was getting more and more of a voice in the organization. Him and Larry Bird were thinking in line quite a bit, considerably even at the trade deadline when they chose not to trade Paul, which I think was a wise decision moving forward. But with Kevin, think about this. He comes in 2011. Nate McMillan comes a year later as a top assistant coach.
Who also was the coach at Portland when Kevin was the general manager.
And those two guys in Portland had some success. They didn't really, go far in the playoffs, but they had Brandon Roy, they had Greg Oden. Kevin Pritchard made a lot of trades in the early 2000s to get the sort of Jailblazers sort of stigma off that team and get this, get the Trailblazers where they are now, which is a more competitive basketball team in the Western Conference. Could he do something similar with the Pacers? That remains to be seen if the team wants to go into a real building stage. But Kevin Pritchard's going to make the moves. That's what I've been told. It's his show now. Larry Bird will be an advisor, much like Donnie Walsh, to sort of bounce ideas off of. But it's Kevin Pritchard's show, and we'll see what he does with Paul George and the team moving forward.
All right, 2 advisors now?
2 advisors.
Okay.
Hey, as Herb told us in that exclusive Q&A, hey, I've got Donnie Walsh and Larry Bird, 2 of the greatest basketball minds ever in the NBA, and it looks like they're at least going to keep those guys around to see how they can sort of stabilize this franchise no matter what decision they come with Paul.
All right, well, Larry Bird will speak to the media on Monday. We will be there. Be sure to follow all of Nate's work on Twitter @ByNateTaylor. Also go to IndyStar.com/sports for all your Pacers and sports news.